Mushroom neutrals don't fail because people pick the wrong color. They fail because people pick one color and then improvise everything else. Just random trim, random accent color, random furniture. And then they stand back and say, I don't know, it just feels kind of off, doesn't it? Looks kind of stupid. Mushroom neutrals are not meant to work alone. They're system colors. They need a palette. So instead of talking about single swatches, I want to walk you through 3 mushroom neutral palettes that actually work in real homes, using real Benjamin Moore examples so you can visualize how this whole thing comes together. These palettes are designed for mixed lighting, wood floors, open sight lines, and houses where things don't magically match. Sound like your place? All right, let's go. Palette number 1, warm stone mushroom. Cozy, timeless, grounded. This palette leans into mushroom's earthy side, so stone, clay, taupe, without tipping into beige. So for the main wall color, I am thinking of mushrooms like Pashmina by Benjamin Moore or Shiitake by Sherwin Williams. Natural cream adjacent mushroom tones. These have a taupe brown base with just enough gray to stay modern. They work incredibly well with oak floors and walnut furniture, of course leathers, yes, and warmer metals rather than those cooler silvery ones. And for trim, this palette wants a creamy supportive white, something like white dove or even cloud white to a lesser degree. Not bright, definitely not icy. When people use a super stark white here, the wall color suddenly looks dirty by comparison. That's not mushroom's fault. That's the trim fighting it. If you wanted to add some depth, add something like Iron Mountain or even Barren Plain for something a bit more soft. These bring structure without going super black. And then for an accent color, maybe a muted green like Saybrook Sage ties the whole palette together. Or Chimichurri if you want to go dark. This palette works beautifully in older homes, traditional decor, maybe even transitional, and anywhere you want warmth without going yellow. Number 2, we got our balanced mushroom palette, the safest and most flexible option in my own opinion. This is the palette I reach for when someone says, I don't want to mess this up. Help me, please. It's neutral, refined, and incredibly adaptable. The main wall color here is a mid LRV mushroom that balances taupe with a subtle mauvey stone undertone. Great examples of this, Benjamin Moore's Collingwood, 2 thumbs up. Wish as well, Pale Oak by Benjamin Moore 2. When these are used intentionally as part of a mushroom palette, these rock. These colors behave beautifully in both north and south facing light. Wonderful choices. For the trim, however, this palette wants a white that's calm and more neutral than the last. So less of that warm undertone. So crisp contrast, I would go with something like super white. And if you want something a little softer, maybe steam could be a good choice. It'll stay cohesive. For secondary spaces or any transitions that you're doing, you can layer with something lighter like classic gray. And if you want contrast on the dark side of things, maybe a Kendall charcoal or a Chelsea gray works extremely well. This palette is perfect for those open concept homes, renovations, or anyone who wants a neutral that still has depth and longevity. Palette number 3, cool leaning mushrooms. Yes, it's a thing. This palette is more modern, refined, not gray though. Definitely not gray. Believe it or not, it's not gray, even though you might think it is. Even though some of the commenters might call it gray. This is the palette for people who think they want gray, but actually don't. Or the people that hate gray, but maybe they don't hate this one as much. The main wall color here is a cooler mushroom with a stone violet undertone, maybe like a Cornforth white by Pharaoh and Ball, or even Balboa Mist when it's paired correctly. These colors stay crisp without turning blue or flat. The good thing about mushrooms is there's never really any blue to them. For the trim here, I kind of like Decorator's White. Similar to Super White in terms of how clean it is, but just a little softer. And honestly, both work here depending on how modern you want the space to feel. For depth, go with a warm charcoal like iron ore or wrought iron. And for accents, you can go with muted blue greens like Knoxville gray, or even my boy Narragansett green. I love saying that color. It keeps the palette sophisticated instead of chillsome. This palette shines in newer builds, modern homes, and spaces with steel, concrete, or sleek millwork. I want to talk about the common thread here. This is the part people miss. Across all 3 of these palettes, the success has nothing to do with the popularity of the color name. It's about undertone harmony. Mushroom neutrals work when the trim, depth colors, and accents support the undertone instead of fighting it. And LRV matters a lot too. High LRV mushrooms feel airy and stone-like. Mid LRV mushrooms do the heavy lifting typically. And then those darker mushroom colors add the drama, but only when the room can handle it. I don't think you can handle this. There's no universal universal best mushroom neutral. There's only the best mushroom palette for your home. If you're considering mushroom neutrals this year, stop choosing them like standalone colors. Build a palette, or let me build one for you. We do palette pyramid services as well as full-on color consultations, so if you need that, check the description down below. The key is with colors, test slowly. Watch the color in morning, noon, and night. That's how mushroom neutrals look rich and intentional instead of muddy and confusing, because they can be. If you want, next time I can break this down by room type, kitchens, bedrooms, exteriors, or do a deep dive into mushroom undertones so you know exactly which direction to go. Tell me, let me know. You gotta tell me.